Okay, moms, let's learn Lightroom so you can have all of your photos organized. And the key point here is you want them organized so you can actually print your pictures and look at them, physical pictures, or put them on your wall. And so that's my ultimate goal for you so you can actually enjoy the photos that you're taking. I see zero purpose in having 15,000 photos on your phone and never ever looking at them. So that's my goal here. All right, so before we begin, I also want to say that this is my personal method for how I have used Lightroom since the day it came out. We have used it from its inception for personal use and for our photo business. In the end, this is what has morphed into how I organize my photos. There are a million different ways that you can use Lightroom. That's the beauty of it, both for editing and for your organization. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people in comments saying they do it a completely different way, which is fantastic. Please put your comments down below of all of your ideas, your questions, your concerns, whatever it may be. This is my very first time doing a video like this, and so I'm going to learn right along with you on the side of giving tutorials, but I am happy to hear what you guys have to say. Next, I want to explain why I use Adobe Classic, not the Creative Cloud. Now, reason for that is that the Classic version really should be called Pro because it has a few extra features in it that the Creative Cloud doesn't have. And those features, for your sake right now at the moment, don't really matter. But as a professional, I want the Classic version for those extra features. Also, I want to do everything on my computer locally, meaning I want it on my computer. Everything obviously in the Creative Cloud is up in the cloud. It's a fantastic thing to have an extra external source so that way if your computer crashes, everything is stored elsewhere, you don't lose your photos. I don't mind ending there, but when I work on my photos and when I start with all my photos, I want to do it on my own computer. It's faster, I have more control over things, and that's what I like to do. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. If you have questions about Creative Cloud, I will not be able to answer them. You're gonna have to Google it because I just don't want to learn it. I don't think it's just not my preference. And I'm a Adobe Classic girl. I'm just old school like that, but it's not old school, it's the Pro version. So let's begin with opening up your catalog. All right. So we're going to go to Lightroom Classic. If this is the very first time that you're opening Classic, it is going to, let's make my face smaller and let's move me over here maybe. Yeah, let's do that. It's going to open up to whatever catalog you had open most recently. I'm going to show you how to create a new catalog so that way you know how to create a new one, because there's a couple of features that I want you to use on the onset of a brand new catalog. We're going to go File, New Catalog. And this is going to be like your big master catalog of all time. One question that people ask a lot is, how many catalogs do I need? Because you can create as many catalogs as you want. The reason for that would be part of a fail-safe. If the catalog gets corrupt, it's not going to ruin your photos inside. There's a myriad of reasons why we have different catalogs. I use a different catalog for every single photo job that I have. I don't need, customer A with customer B's photos mixing together in the same catalog. So I have a different catalog for every single job. You can have as many catalogs as you want. It's a personal preference, but you got to open up a new catalog every time you're looking for photos. But for this job in particular, where you are trying to gather everything from all four corners of your digital world to find every single photo, the goal right now is one massive dumping ground so you can get all of your photos in one place. So we're only going to work with one catalog right now, and that way you can use that. So we are going to go File, New Catalog, like I said, and I'm going to name it like All-Time Master Family Photos and Videos. Tags or something, if you have a Mac computer, don't worry about it. Where are you going to store these? Well, I'm going to put them directly on my desktop so I can find it. You need to remember where you're saving this catalog to because you're going to reference it many times. And I always know how that goes. Like when you download something, you save something, you're like, where did that go on my computer? It's really important you actually pay attention to where this is. Okay, so I'm going to save it to my desktop. create. It's going to completely shut down and then it's going to reopen. How long this takes, 100% depends on how fast or slow your computer is. Okay, here we go. My brand new catalog. What I want to show you is, look at this. This just looks like a file or a folder. It does not look like a Lightroom catalog or like a different icon. It's not a Lightroom icon. When you go to look for it on your computer, it's going to simply be a folder. If you double click it, look at all of the different files it's already created in order to make the Lightroom catalog run. Obviously, you did not sit here and do all these files. This is all the information that it automatically creates in order to run this Lightroom catalog. So don't worry about it. If you want to click in here, like say you closed out of Lightroom, there's two different ways that you can open it, which is to click on the folder and then click on the actual Lightroom catalog here, and that will open it up. Or like what we did this very first time, which is to go wherever it is on your computer, the actual icon on your, on your computer here, click that and it will open up. So there's two different ways that you can do that. Okay, here we are. The very first thing that we need to do is go into Lightroom Classic, go into Catalog Settings, and we need to click this button that says Automatically Write Changes into Sidecar Files. Think about it as a sidecar of a motorcycle. It's going to write an extra little file next to the photo that you're currently working on, or all of the photos, and it will save information of work that you're doing in Lightroom. If you're going to edit the photos at all or do anything to it, it's going to save some of that information so you can quickly open it in other Adobe programs later. Long story short, it makes stuff run more efficiently and saves information. So you just click that. The reason why it's not automatically clicked all the time is because it takes up more memory, it takes up more space on your computer, it can make stuff run slower. If you're never, ever, ever going to edit a photo ever, then you don't need to click that button. But I have a feeling that you're probably going to edit a few photos here and there because I'm going to give you some tips of how easy it is to do. So anyways, click that button. You have to do that every single time you create a new catalog. And then now we're set for that. Now we need to go get the photos. We can grab them from wherever. It does not matter. It's the exact same process, whether it's, my Apple photos here, or if it's a CD that you have plugged in that you need to get off of there. If it's a flash card or a CD card, or a CF card, whatever digital source device that you are pulling your photos from, it's the exact same method to do that. So plug that in, open up the thing, whatever it is, and you're going to export the photos. That's what you need. And we're going to do that. I'm going to start with my Hawaii 2024 album. Now, if you have one massive all dump, all photos under the sun album, you can do that. I am just going to be working off of the Hawaii 2024 album just for ease of use instead of all of my photos under the sun. I do want to mention, yes, my photos are extremely organized right now on my Photos app that you're probably seeing right now. I did that a month ago. That's not normal that I would have that, but I finally did because I had some spare time a month ago to do that. So don't bother, who cares about the number system and everything? That's me. For my work and for photos, I always number everything, which you'll see soon. That's just my personal preference. The whole point of this is to organize your photos in Lightroom, so don't worry about the numbering system I have on my phone. I just have to say that. Okay, so I am going to Control A, or I should say Option A, whatever it is. Select all your photos of whatever folder it is. We're going to go File, Export. Export 307 items. What kind are they? JPEGs? Great. Movie quality? That's up to you, how much space you want to store in your computer. You can include title, obviously, location, you want that. Now, file naming, we don't care about because we're going to rename the files later in Lightroom. So I'm going to export them. Here it says all-time master photos. This is the Lightroom catalog I want. I need to say new folder, and I am going to name this originals. Did I have to look at my other screen to make sure I spelled it correctly? Yes, I did. Okay, Here we go. So I'm going to say originals. Just click on the original thing and say export. This is now going to take a long time depending on how many photos and videos you have. You notice I pulled photos and videos because I want them all. Depending on how many photos and videos you have, how slow or fast your computer is, this could take 10 minutes. This could take 2 hours. So do not be worried if you're like, this is taking forever. And it will. It will take forever. Right here is my little dial. It's not even moving yet. So I will see you when this is done. Heyo, the videos have done importing. It's time to put the glasses on, do the things. Okay, so if you go to your Lightroom catalog, you will notice the pictures aren't there. Where are the photos? The photos aren't there. You actually have to tell Lightroom where they are. This is a key thing you must understand moving forward. Lightroom tells the computer what to do. The computer will not show Lightroom what it's doing. So although we now have these photos somewhere on our computer, somewhere, actually, if you go in here, there they are, originals, right there. The computer has them, but Lightroom doesn't know they exist. We have to tell Lightroom where it exists, and that's how it is from here to eternity. When you start working in Lightroom, you need to work from Lightroom, not from your computer, okay? You'll continue to see that as we move forward. So over here on the folders, you're going to click folders, add folder, go into your master catalog, originals, say choose. Over here on the right-hand side, I want to build one-to-one previews. What that does is it builds a full resolution preview in Lightroom. If you don't click that, then it does a low resolution. For me, when I'm debating if I want to keep photos or not, I want the highest resolution possible to know if it's in focus and just to see the overall photo quality and video quality. Well, this is for photos. So I want one-to-one previews. I want to build smart previews. Long story short, it's going to make things run efficiently. It's also going to put another layer on top of your photos. So if you choose to edit your photos, it's going to be saving it on top of them there and make it faster and run faster. That's the quick answer of what that does. And so I'm going to do that. Build one-to-one, build smart previews, don't import suspected duplicates. Click import. When I do this, this could take a very long time or a short amount of time. It's not taking very long at all right now to build to at least bring them in there at the moment. You'll notice up here on the top left of the status bar, one is going to be the one importing the pictures. The other one is going to be building those previews. And so again, I'm just going to walk away for a few minutes, go have a coffee, do whatever, and then wait for these to finish importing. The pictures are done importing and we're finally ready to go. The very first step that I'm going to do is sort my pictures from my videos. Right here on originals, says I have 307, but this also includes videos. I'm going to go to the folders, say plus, and I'm going to add folder, not subfolder. Add folder. Go back into the all-time master family photo videos here. New folder. It's going to be one, videos. Again, I use a numbering system for all of my files because I don't like to have things sorted alphabetically. So I want everything to be in a specific order. So I have to number them in order to have that. So anyway, you'll notice now here's the video folder. I am going to click on originals. And now that I have the video folder, I am going to come down here into the middle where it says capture time, because that's the way it automatically sorts, is by capture time, which I love, because if you dump every photo under the sun into a single folder, it's going to automatically have them by capture time and you're going to see them. It's going to be it's fantastic. I love that. Anyway, so go to file extension. And do I have to, okay, they're already there. Okay. I wasn't sure if I had to control A, select all of them first. When I sort by file extension, it's going to bring all of my videos to the end because the extension alphabetically as last compared to the extension for what a photo is. So I am going to grab all of my videos, which I took a lot of videos because this was our 50th state we had visited. So I took a lot of videos. Anyways, you'll see that it's a video because it has a second here and seconds in all those. I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to drag them into my videos folder. Now I have 124 videos, 183 photos. If you look at your drive now, here, you'll see there's the video folder and there's all the videos in there. So it's writing to your computer as you do work in Lightroom. Under Originals now, I get to sort them. Finally, here we are. I do this in a myriad of ways. I'm going to go back into this by capture time just to make sure nothing else is odd. Over here on the bottom left, you can see that there's a grid, which is what we've clicked on. That's what we're on. The next one is it allows you to see a single photo. This one over here is a comparison. So I can highlight two different photos like this, and I can say if I want one or the other or not. That's the point of that one. Survey view here allows you to do 3 different photos or a whole bunch of different photos at once if you want to sort that way, but I don't really use that one very often. This one right here, we're not going to use this one right now, but it's really good to use after you've done your original cull of all of your images, which is that you can start finding faces. So just like your smart filter or your smart album on your Apple photos, you can start doing that. So I can say start finding faces in entire catalog. It's going to go through here and sort these people, and I can put names on it, and eventually it'll start figuring out who is who and telling me who's who. So eventually when it does it, so like now that it's like, is this Molly? No, where's one that's me? I can just click it and say, yes, that's me. So I don't have Adelaide in there, so it doesn't know who's in there. But you do that, and eventually you can say, yes, no, that's not Adelaide or not. So you can do this kind of thing here, and then you can sort by your people if you want. But I don't want to do this right now with all my photos because I'm going to cull the photos first. So that is the main sorting features on that side. Go over here to the right. Down here on the bottom right is where things really get fun because you can sort them in a myriad of ways on top of that, or you can rate them, I should say. So under the filter here, all of these tools down here, you can use your mouse to click, or there's an entire keyboards of different quick keys that you can use for that. And I use the quick keys. I'll link in the notes below a page that has all of the quick keys that you can do for all of the different features. For pictures, you can flag a photo, and for that it's pick, even though it's a flag. So I can pick a photo, or I can star it with a 1, 2, 3, 4, or a 5-star rating. I can give the rating a color of red, yellow, green, blue. The purple and the others, it's a little bit harder to quick key those, so I don't use those features, but there's all those colors that you can put on there. For the colors, it's actually, so you have 1 through 5 on your keyboard is the stars, and 6 is red, number 7 is yellow, number 8 is green, and number 9 is blue. So it makes it really easy to rate your photos, because on your left hand is going to be where you're going to do all of your numbers for how you rate them, whether it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or the colors. And then on your right hand, you can put it on your arrows and your arrow on your keyboard here. And you're just going to arrow right, click a button of what you think the star rating should be, and you're just going to that's how quickly you can go through, and I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. But if you want, if you're a mouse clicker type person, you can sit here and click on it with the mouse as well and do that. So over here on the right hand side are also, let me move me out of the way. There's a whole bunch of other filters that you can do once you've actually rated the photos over here, but we're not going to do that quite yet. Let's go ahead and Let's go ahead and get all the filters off. So I just click right there for filters off. And that is all of the main, sorry, I keep moving myself around here. That is all of the main ways that I will rate a photo. And that's what's cool. So to start off with, I'm going to use a 5-star rating. Do I like the photo? Do I not like the photo? Am I going to keep it or not? So I'm going to go through these photos and I'll show you right now how I do that. So I'm going to go back to the grid. Well, actually, no. Back to the grid, go to the very first photo, click on it. Again, my left hand is on my numbers, my right hand is on the arrows, and I'm just going to look at if I want to keep them, but that's not the beginning of the album. Let's go over here. I'm going to be cheating a little bit only because I cull my photos so much as I go that so many of these photos I'm probably going to keep, but let me go. Let me do this here and we'll see. So 5, yes, yes. Okay, this is actually a good example. I don't need both of those. So one of them, that one, it's the same difference. Go away. Okay, so 5. This would actually be a good example. Let me show you. I'm doing the XY. Which one do I like better? This one's actually more in focus. So now that I look at it, this one's more in focus. So I'm going to do 5 on that one and go off. And a 0 on this one. Okay, so I'm going to go back to these here. Oh, it's still selected. Come on. There we go. Don't need that. So, yeah, I don't need a picture of the cupcakes. There we go. My friend took us to the airport. So we're going to go through all of these photos and do this. That's all we're going to do. And if we like the photo, great. If we don't, we're going to leave it a 0. So take your time now. Go through your photos. If there's a photo that you aren't sure if you like or not, you can start at like a 3. And then that way you can decide later if you want to keep it or not, instead of immediately deciding if you want to toss it or not. The thing about starring these or rating, say you start at a 5 and you decide you don't want it anymore, you can actually just go 0 and then it removes the rating. If you're using the picker because you like to flag photos, this little flag down here, you can say P for pick, and then you say U for unpicking the flag. If there is a specific photo that you're like, without a shadow of a doubt, I am going to print this photo, then you can also decide on a color. Like say, like I want to make sure that all green photos are going to be ones that might be going in an album. Then I'm going to also click that. So I can have a picture flagged, green, colored, and starred. So I can have 3 different ways to show a flag. And if it's a face, then I can have 4 different ways right there off of the bat that I can sort later if I want to put photos in certain categories later together. But for right now, all I'm going to do is go through and put 5-star ratings on everything of everything I want to keep and then what's junk. And I'll show you what to do next. So you can do the same. I have culled all my pictures. Well, I've starred them anyways. And now what I'm going to do, because I've all done a 5-star rating, I'm going to go down here to the right and click on the 4-star ratings. And right here where the plus or greater than equal than is, I'm going to click on rating is less than or equal to. So now I have all of my pictures I don't want. I'm going to select them all. I'm going to add a folder. This folder is going to be back in this new folder here, and it's going to be named junk. Of course, it's going to go away. I shouldn't have selected it first, but whatever. Okay, so we'll do it one more time. Go back here, go to the 4-star rating, and it'll still automatically be selected to rating is less than or equal to. And then I'm going to select all of these, and then I'm going to move them into the junk folder. Boom, 79. I was able to get rid of 79 photos. Okay, so now I'm going to click back on, I have to move my face, custom filters off. I have to take the filter off so that way I can see my photos because it was selected with 4 stars or less and none of the photos had 4 stars or less. So now, move my face again. Sorry if that's annoying. Anyways, I now have 104 originals, and these are the 104 photos I'm going to keep. I am now going to rename them. So you could now, having gone through one time, maybe you're like, okay, I went through my photos once, but maybe there's a few photos I need to see if I want to keep still or not. Then you can go through them again. Assuming now you have your final set of photos that you want, you're going to rename them. So you're going to select all of them again. So Control A or Option A, whatever it is on your computer. And you're going to go up to Library and rename photo. I'm going to call this Hawaii 2025. Yes, this happened in 2025. So under file naming, it's going to say custom name, and there's all these different options. Well, under file naming is going to give you the option of what you want to name, how you want to name your files. You can do custom name, so they're all the exact same name, custom name with the original file number, custom name sequence. That's what I do because that will now make it go Hawaii 2025, and then it'll have dash whatever photo number it is. You can have the date as the file name. There's all sorts of ways here that you can name all of your files in one go. So I'm going to name mine Hawaii 2025, start number 1. Okay. Now all 104 photos are renamed to that. You can see the name of your folder. I'm sorry, if you go real quick, Control or Option D, and depending, whatever quick key it is to deselect, you can deselect all the photos. Down here at the bottom, you can see the name of your picture. Notice that when I scroll, I don't even have to click. I can see the name of the photo right down here on the screen right there, just by rolling over the picture. And obviously you can see on the top left, it's automatically just viewing the photo for me as I go. So that's what's really cool is when you're trying to look through a whole bunch of photos and you just aren't sure what to do, it's such a great way to do it. Notice though that if I am in the grid mode, it doesn't do that, but it still shows the photos down below. So it's when you're in the grid up here, it doesn't do it. It has to be down here because the bottom bar, it's almost like your film strip down there. That's your workspace. The stuff up top is your viewing, if you will. One thing I want to show you real quick when it comes to photo editing, let's move my face over here. Let's grab, this is a great actually option for a photo here that's kind of low quality. So here, if you're looking at a photo and you're like, man, I don't know if I want to keep this photo because the lighting isn't good, or you just aren't quite sure, like maybe there's someone else in it on the side, you want to see if you can crop it. Up here on the far right, it says Library, and then next one over is Develop. Click on Develop. You're now in develop mode. Obviously, I just clicked on Develop. The very first thing you can do is right below this colorful graph is you can click on the crop, and you can move it to crop it. I'm doing the edges just like probably kind of you would in Canva or wherever else. A lot of the other programs over the years, Canva, iPhones, any sort of prosumer software, they've tried to mimic Lightroom. Really, it all comes from Lightroom. And so you're going to see a lot of similarities from that. So I just went ahead and cropped by turning to see if I want it. I just realized that with my grid on it, the bottom is straight, but the top isn't. It's just one of those. It's just off. Don't worry about it. Okay. So you can crop it that way to see if you need a crop. Right here, you can slide to see if a picture needs to be less yellow or more blue. That even looks better. If a photo's under or overexposed, you can, on the exposure, slide it right or left to see if the photo is salvageable. Highlights will make the background, we'll make any highlights, we'll bring them down, hopefully. I'm going through this fast because in another video, I will show you how to edit. I want to show you here right now, though, is that you can click over into the develop mode just to see if a photo is salvageable to determine if you want to keep it or not. And it's that simple. So you can determine that. There's a whole bunch of other things like dehaze, people use that a lot, and clarity. A few other things, vibrance. I would not use vibrance on this one, but it helps pictures brighter. But said that to say, yes, obviously this photo is still great. It was a little too yellow for my liking, so I'll bring the yellow down. Just now, when I did that, I can click on the little triangle thing, Doppler here in the middle, and I can, once I've clicked on it, I can use my arrow key again to go, oops, not left or right, but I can go up or down to make minor adjustments instead of scrolling with my mouse. And so say you're like done, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep this photo. Maybe it needs to go up one yellow. I don't know, whatever. Go back to library, and now you're back in library mode. Note that all the changes have stayed there. Now, long term, you have to re-export any photos that you have edited because they won't be saved for printing or anywhere else. This is where it's been written on that top layer, but it didn't actually change the photo. You have to re-export it to save that. So I'll show you that right now in case you do mess around with the lighting with photos. Long story short, I, being a photographer, probably go through almost all of these photos and probably do some sort of touch-ups to them if I really feel like it to the photos. Said that to say, every single photo that I've touched up, I have to export. So I'd probably just export the whole catalog all over again, not the catalog, the whole folder all over again. So let me show you how you can do that. But if you want, you can export just a single photo if you've edited some of those photos. I'm going to Control A again. I've selected them all. And I will click Export down here. You want to export into a specific folder. That folder is going to be All-Time Master Family Photos. And I'm going to create, guess what? A new folder. Shocker. 1, 2, 3. Is it number 3? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh, new folder. You can call it edited finals if you want. When I go down here, I don't want to rename them because I've already renamed them. Unless you want to, then you can choose to rename them a myriad of different ways here. I don't want to rename it France, thank you. File setting, you can choose any type of file that you would like to save it as. JPEG's obviously going to be the best choice for this. You can go down here to some of these features you just really don't need right now. Image sizing right here, resize to fit longest edge. So what this does is it makes the photos smaller because say you're never, ever, ever going to print a canvas of this, screenshot in the car or this selfie in the car. There's no reason to keep a 15 meg file of this picture on your computer for all eternity. A great way to save storage is to just make everything 8x10 size. So you could print anything you wanted in an 8x10 print, and then you can throw everything else away. And then you're good to go. It'll save you space. Or if you want to go 4x6 size, whatever it is. So if you click on longest edge, and then you say 10 inches, you make sure the resolution is 300. Then when you export all of your pictures, whether they're vertical or horizontal, will be 8x10 size. Doesn't matter, the longest edge will be 10. So that is a great way to save space and to save all of your pictures in one go. Down here, you can sharpen for the screen if you want. I tend to not like digital sharpening. It's personal preference, but I just don't need it for what we're doing. I'm old school. I like a little bit of a fuzz, I guess, from my old school film days. But anyway, so you can also include all metadata. This means, copyrights. There's other things that you can do if you want to put a copyright on your photos, other things like that. Or say you don't want everyone knowing your location info on your photo. If you're going to share them on the internet or whatever, you can remove location info. If you're a professional or whatever, you can put a watermark on your photos. Okay, and after export, I usually say do nothing because if it shows in folder, it's just going to open up in your folder on your computer, whatever. So if I do this and I say export, then it's going to sit here and export all 105 photos, and they're all going to be 8x10 size. And also, the folder is not going to show up in Lightroom because we have to tell Lightroom that the photo exists. Even though we did it in Lightroom, you still have to go to Add Folder, Edited Finals, choose import, build smart previews, don't import suspected duplicates. And now here are my edited finals right here. Me personally, the time that I make new folders inside my catalog is if the photos are a completely different resolution or a different file extension. So if you have a bunch of raw images, maybe you are using your digital SLR, your real camera, your big camera, those might have raw files on them. I'm going to put those in their own folder because they are pictures you can't print from because they're not JPEGs, or like the junk photos that I know I'm never going to want, where the tough thing comes in when it comes to actually deleting photos, okay? I want you guys to be able to have space on your computers, space in your phones and wherever else, and storing multiple large files is just not needed. With the junk folders, I am going to Control A, and guess what? I'm going to right click and move my face yet again. It keeps getting in the way. Right click and say remove photos down here. I can remove them from Lightroom because again, they're still on my computer at a moment. If I remove them from Lightroom, they'll still stay on my computer, but they won't be in my Lightroom catalog. I don't find that helpful in any capacity. Someone else could maybe have a reason for it, but the whole point of this is me seeing where all my photos are. I don't need extra rando photos out anywhere else that's not in a Lightroom catalog. I am going to delete from disk. That means they're gone. They have been deleted from my computer. They are no longer in my computer. Now, I'm kind of cheating in this sense. So if you look at junk folder, it's empty. But if you recall, we exported the photos from my phone into Lightroom. All of the photos are still in my phone. So I technically still have, well, not technically, I do. I still have all of the photos I just deleted. I know it's really hard for moms to delete photos. And even like this, where it's like once in a lifetime trip to Hawaii, and you're like, you're going to delete half your photos. Yes, because I know that 20 years from now, no one needed to see the photo of the cupcakes. Like there's no story behind it other than we bought cupcakes. Okay. So this is the ultimate thing that you want to do, which is go into your photos, Control A, and delete all of them. Now that I have deleted all of the photos from my phone, the photos that have been deleted on my computer and on my phone are nowhere to be found now. That is it. They have been completely deleted. Obviously on my phone, I could go back and restore them in the next 30 days if I want to. I could go back into my trash and grab them if I have some moment. What I can do, if I want all of these photos back on my phone, is I'm going to go to my edited finals, all of these, I'm going to put those back into my phone. The big question that we had about this is that will the timestamp still be there? Because now these photos were technically created today at 5:36, but I have now imported them onto my phone. And from what I can tell, because I tried this before with a different album, it actually did show up with the correct date in my phone. This actually happened last April, not that it happened today. So it did save the metadata because I have the metadata on my phone of when the picture was actually created. So I think that can stay there. So that's the only thing about doing this. However, now when I go to my photos on my phone and I look at Hawaii, it's my curated album and nothing more. And I now have saved that many photos from being on my phone. I don't necessarily need all those photos on my phone. If you wanted to, you could go and like make a number, or not make a number, make a color or whatever it is, make a color and be like all the blue photos are the ones that are going to be on your phone. And then that's what's fun too, is if you have, say, a bunch of different colors of different things. Right here, while I'm in this main master view here, I can click on say the blue, and it's going to bring up just the blue photos for me so I can see which ones are there. Or say I want the blue photos have a 4-star or less 4-star or less rating. I don't have any 4-star or less. So 5-star rating, if any of them, I see that there's one photo that is picked with the 5-star rating with the blue. I can do that all within my main screen. Remember, if you ever are like, wait, how do I undo it? Just go over here to the right down here and say filters off. Then it brings it back to base 0, if you will. So you can go through and do that and say, I want all these photos to go back on my phone. And then you can select those and then export them back to your phone. And this is how I keep all of my photos edited. Now, this is not my main catalog, as you can see. I have my master family catalog is elsewhere. This is an example one. But hopefully this helps you to be able to see how you can edit all of your photos. And the next video, hopefully this will help you see how you can keep your photos all organized and go ahead and delete photos so you have room for more. I need to go through my videos now and do all those videos. You can rename your videos. You can do the exact same thing that you do for photos. In my next video, I'll go over in more detail about how you can do basic edits to your photos so you can edit them. I hope this really helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know down below, and I will see you somewhere on the internet, Instagram or wherever. Thanks.